on them program.
What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new, welcome for the very first time. It has been a while since I connected with you guys, but things have been a little bit crazy on my end work-wise. We've had some photo shoots and some exciting things coming up and have happened, but we will be having a consistent amount of videos for you guys coming up here soon. Really exciting videos talking with our moms, and they're going to talk to you guys about how they find balance in living a healthy lifestyle and being a mom and working full-time jobs and so on. And then we're going to do that video finally on eating disorders that I talked to you guys about. But today we are going to do a video that I have wanted to do for a really long time, and you guys have requested it quite a few times on my Facebook and my Instagram, things that I've talked to with my clients about. So I decided it was time to do it because I have had quite a bit of experience with this myself, and it kind of really hit home in the last couple of weeks. So I figured now is the time to address this topic. So today we are going to talk about balance, finding a balance between maintaining a healthy lifestyle, maintaining your fitness goals, and just doing things that you still want to do outside of fitness in your life, as well as finding the balance between going from show prep to regular life, from photo shoot to regular life, and so on. So if you guys want to find out what I have to say about this topic, stick around and we'll get right into it. So the first thing to really think about here, the thing that I think is the most important to address before we really even go anywhere, is what does balance mean? And I think this is a lot of the time where people get really caught up in not being able to achieve balance, or not even knowing that they've achieved it because they haven't defined what this means. So I did a video a couple of months back on goals and motivation. I'm going to link that for you guys below because I think it really closely aligns with this video, and I think it's really important to address your goals and to kind of think about your motivation, what motivates you, before you can actually get to finding balance. So back to defining balance. The problem with balance is that there is no one definition. Balance for you may be different than balance for me. Balance for me at different parts of my life may differ than they do at other parts of my life. So for example, while I was in competition prep, for me, balance was basically just being able to continue with my regular training, get my cardio in, get my workouts in, get all my food in, and have, you know, a couple hours a week to hang out with my family and friends and maybe take a refeed meal if I was given one by my coach once a week or once every couple of weeks. So that was enough for me at that point in my life to say that I had balance. And you know what? It really was enough at that time in my life. Now, I think a lot of people see balance as having a six-pack and eating ice cream every day, which, I mean, you know what? Some people are genetic freaks. You can do that. If you're counting macros and not really paying too much attention to micros, you can do that as well. Some people can count every calorie that goes into their body, count every macro that goes in, and still not achieve that, right? So it's really important to have a realistic view of what balance is, and have a realistic view of what you're willing to put in to, again, achieve those goals. Again, going back to that video, to that previous video. So for me now, I'll give you guys an example of a recent situation that happened. So I was getting ready for a shoot that I just had finished this week, and my coach and I were kind of discussing what we were going to do, and I started to diet, and I'd been dieting for a while, and I know that I shared some of that journey with you guys. So I had been dieting for a while, and my thyroid just really hasn't been responding so great with me lately, I think just because my stress has been a little bit higher. So I'm dieting, and I'm leaning out, but not necessarily as much as I would like to. So we were really gonna pull my calories back and kind of really pay attention like closely to what I was eating. And I had started to follow that revised diet for a couple of days, maybe a week. And honestly, I just started to feel like shit, and I started to get super flustered. And I had this conversation with myself where I was like, you know what? When these photos come out, I know my clients are going to see them. I know my friends and my followers are going to see them, and they're going to be like, wow, you look so great. This is so great. And they're going to take that photo and they're going to look at it for inspiration and for motivation. And I didn't want that. I didn't want a photo out there that you guys are looking at as something that you could work towards by finding balance, where I had zero balance to get there. So hopefully that makes sense. But I had to have this talk with myself and with my coach, and I said, you know what, if I come in a little less lean for the shoot, but I still have treat meals and I still have nights out with my friends and with my husband, I would rather have that. I would rather have a body that may not be as lean for this photo shoot, that I achieved in a way that I found maintainable, in a way that I could live, let's put it that way. So of course I was still doing cardio, don't get me wrong, but interestingly enough, I've found that my cardio has really reduced my anxiety, so I'm going to keep that when I'm not prepping for anything, and just increase my food a little bit, because it really has helped me, and I've been feeling really good in that frame of things lately. So that's kind of where I'm at there. But yeah, I just wanted to explain to you guys that the balance there was so different than the balance and the mind frame that I had when it came to prep. So a lot of you have asked me, what about when you're getting ready for a photo shoot? So if you have dieted really hard, or when you're getting, when you finish your competition, how do you find balance? So I've seen a lot of competitors, and I mean, I will not be the first person to talk about this. Everybody talks about this. You see competitors, they're shredded, they look amazing on stage, and then you see them a couple of months later and they're up 40 pounds, right? So obviously this can happen if you're under a huge amount of stress, you're in a huge calorie deficit, you have, experienced a lot of deprivation for a really long amount of time, and you've been working for such a specific goal. Now you no longer have this goal, and you're like, screw it, balls to the wall, I'm gonna eat all the candy and chocolate, and you know what, I just deserve a break, I'm so tired, I've been training so hard, so I'm just gonna cut my training in half. Now, for the most part, when you've done a photo shoot or have done a prep, your metabolism has really slowed down. Although the first thing on your mind may be to go and, eat everything that your heart desires and stop training because you're tired, that's the last thing that you should do. This is where finding balance is going to become a process, and it's going to take a lot of time. So I highly advise anybody that has done a very strict diet for a photo shoot or for a competition prep to reverse diet, to maintain on their workout schedule, and then eventually, once your body has found that homeostasis, then you can reduce the workouts, then you can continue to increase food, and then you can have more of those treat meals and those free refeeds and those extras that aren't going to affect your goals. So you have to remember that you chose to do this show, you wanted to do this, and you took this goal on. So a really important thing to do is to set goals past this show, right? The show shouldn't be the finish line. If you're looking to make this a lifestyle, the goals really need to go beyond just your show day and just your photo shoot or whatever specific, timed goal that you have in that moment. It has to go beyond that. If you tell yourself, I'm going to make it to the stage, and once I'm there, I'm just going to relax, this is where you're setting yourself up for failure. To have that reverse diet in plan, to have it ready, to know that you have something next to work towards as soon as you're done show, may keep you motivated, and it's going to give you a sense of direction. Balance isn't going from one extreme to the other. It's finding the middle ground. So it can seem daunting at first because now, you've prepped for so long and now you have to basically prep again. But the body doesn't do well under extremes. So if you are considering, prepping for a show or for a photo shoot, this is something to really think about, that prep does not end when the show is over. In order to maintain a healthy lifestyle, you have to continue with this, and you have to reverse out of it and then start to add food in. And I know I have a lot of clients, a client I actually was just talking to about this week, who said, I'm just waiting for that day that you send me that meal plan with all that fun food on it. And she's on a weight loss journey right now, so not towards the stage. And it's kind of that moment when we're like, okay, am I there yet? Am I there when I have a huge amount of room for flexibility? So I absolutely think that you should have a little amount of flexibility throughout your process, because the more you deprive, the more extreme form of dieting that you do, the more difficult it is going to be to find and maintain balance. Of course, you're going to want to go from one end to the other when you haven't smelt a cookie in so long. You're going to go and eat 6 boxes of cookies. I'm definitely not saying you should go do that, but I'm saying I do understand where it comes from. So that's kind of my view when it comes to competing and finding balance. It's really remembering that your goals go beyond that stage, they go beyond that photo shoot, and it is really about keeping a lifestyle in mind rather than just that end result and end goal that you had set up for yourself. Now, when it comes to just the regular person, if you will, a lot of you guys have also asked me, what is balance? So going back to that little, thing that I said in the beginning about having a 6-pack and eating ice cream. And I know that social media has kind of ruined this for you guys, because you see this on social media, and this is where you get this idea of balance from. So you're like, I want to be able to eat ice cream every single night. I want to be able to drink wine every single night. Now, can you do this? Probably. Are you going to look like shit? Probably not. But you're not going to have a 6-pack, right? So what I want you guys to keep in mind is balance is all about what is balance for you. So if balance for you is getting in 3 workouts a week, having 2 treat meals, the rest of your food is prepped and pretty much on plan, and you get to have a couple of glasses of wine a week. If that is balance for you, that is balance for you, and that's totally fine. And you can maintain, absolutely you can maintain a healthy lifestyle with that mind frame and that setup of a plan. However, are you going to be completely shredded? Probably not, right? So again, what is it that is of value to you? Do you really value having a 6-pack versus going, for ice cream with your kids every couple of days or every week, whatever your schedule allows? What do you value? Finding balance is finding balance within yourself. And again, this is something that may change. Like I've said, it's changed for me many, many, many times. I know that there are times where holidays come up, and it is really important to me to go, bake cookies with my mom and have a couple of them. And, I have Christmas dinners with my husband's family and my family, and then we have brunch, and we have all these events. So of course I partake. I'm not going to avoid life in order to maintain a 6-pack, if you will. But if I was in show prep during this time, which if you have not read my blog yet, that will not happen again because I'm not competing anymore. The link to that blog is on my Instagram if you guys want to go read it. But anyways, if that was during show prep, I would have a different mindset, but I don't have that mindset right now. Now, the thing that I want you guys to avoid is using balance as an excuse. So I have seen this so many times where, people are bitching and complaining that they see other girls who are so much leaner than them, or other guys who are big, or whatever you want to say. I work my ass off. How come that girl has a 6-pack and I don't? And then I see you guys on your Snapchat and on your Instagrams, and you're always out having ice cream. You're having a different ice cream every night of the week. You're having treats, and you're having this, and you're having wine, and you're constantly describing it as, I deserve this balance. So this is where I have an issue with it. You need to decide, are you going to bitch about not having the 6-pack, Or are you just going to be okay with the fact that you're tight and you look good and you're healthy, but you're getting to have more ice cream? And clearly I'm craving ice cream because I'm using that as an example every time we're talking about this. But I'm just using it as an example, guys. So that's something that I want you to keep in mind. Are you using balance to bullshit yourself? Are you using balance to find an excuse and a reason to not achieve your goals? If you have very specific goals, know that of course, I'm going to turn that off, I'm very sorry. Know that of course you're gonna have to hustle a little bit harder and you're gonna have to skip on that ice cream every now and then. And that's okay if you have specific goals. If your goals aren't as important to you, then be realistic with yourself and have the ice cream. And that's all I'm saying. Don't point fingers and say, you know, that person is so lean and I'm over here busting my ass, but I know what you're doing. I see your Snapchats. You can't hide that from me. When that girl over there isn't doing that, right? Because to her, balance is treating herself maybe once every 2 weeks while she's hustling in the gym. Now, I do not favor either sides of that spectrum. It really doesn't matter. It only matters what is important to you. So please keep that in mind. And I always say to clients, you know, if you have family dinners, Christmas events, all these things coming up, if you have 3 events in a weekend, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't treat yourself at every one of those events. But there's being gluttonous and then there's having balance. Do you need to have 15 cookies and 6 bowls of mashed potatoes and a tub of ice cream to yourself? Probably not. I don't think that's called balance. That's definitely not called balance, you guys. So that's what I'm saying. Don't use this as an excuse. Make sure that your events and your special occasions are not just surrounded by food, that you are enjoying your company and you're focusing on other things other than, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Other things that don't surround food. Your focus should be on other things, not just food. Building an unhealthy relationship with food is when you constantly reward yourself with food. And that's what I'm saying. I don't like the whole, you know, I deserve this, balance, #balance, I'm gonna eat 17 pieces of pizza. Calm down, okay? Calm down. You can have a couple pieces of pizza. You can have a glass of wine. That may be balance. But binge eating and being gluttonous and going completely over the top and then using balance as an excuse to label that type of behavior, I call bullshit on that. So that's kind of where I sit with that. So again, the biggest piece of advice I can give you guys is that balance is individual. What you may define as balance, I may not. A fitness competitor may have something completely different, and that's totally okay. Just don't get caught up in things that you see on social media and things that you see other people doing and things that you see people who are doing something that you're completely not willing to do and they're looking a certain way and you're getting caught up in their life. Ask yourself, what am I willing to give and what am I willing to take to achieve my fitness goals and to find that balance? And I believe, I really do, that if you ask yourself these questions, you'll find what balance means to you. And honestly, the last thing that I have to say about it is that this is a huge work in progress. Just like maintaining a healthy lifestyle is a huge work in progress, so is achieving and maintaining balance. It comes in waves. There are times where your life is turned upside down, and of course you're not going to find balance and you're not going to have balance, and that's okay, and that's completely normal. Just keep in mind that it is an evolving learning lesson, and that as you grow and as your priorities change, your idea of balance is also going to change. So I really hope that you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from here, and the message that I'm trying to get across to you. I hope that you found this video a little bit helpful in, you know, kind of the direction that you're going to take with regards to finding balance in your lifestyle and how and what you're going to do to achieve balance in living a healthy lifestyle rather than going from one extreme to the next. If you like the video, as always, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel. Subscribe below if you haven't already. Share the video with your friends. Some people you may think may find it useful, may need it. And I will for sure see you guys in the next one. Bye. Have a great day.